Hi, welcome to IBC 2016. I'm Joe O'Halloran, Editor-in-Chief of Rapid TV News, and I'm here with John Bozza, Commercial Director of SIS. Welcome again, John.
Thank you, Joe.
It's been a tremendous year for the broadcast industry in general, but certainly for the satellite and delivery industries. What do you think's been driving the growth, and why is 2016 being so much better than like last year?
Oh, I think it has been a good year. I think we've seen generally a large number of sports and news events that are interesting to consumers, which has driven a lot of traffic across global satellite and fibre distribution platforms. I think there's still increasing number of channels. I don't think that's reached its end point. And I think just more and more content being produced is just stimulating that sort of additional growth across the industry.
We're sitting here surrounded by a lot of Ultra HD screens. Now, how far away is that from mainstream adoption, or are there more interesting use cases?
I think in terms of ultra high definition, we've certainly seen a big leap forward on the contribution side. So in terms of sports production, for example, at SIS Live we're seeing more and more live sports events being originated in certainly in 4K. In terms of a move to full ultra high definition, I think there's still some debate. I think there's still some debate around things like HDR, HFR, enhancements around audio. I think there's still some mileage there to, or some developments to be standardised, and therefore some way to go. But certainly in terms of 4K production, we've seen a big leap forward, and in terms of demands on SIS Live to carry 4K traffic across our network and deliver that to our broadcast customers.
What's it meant for those customers, though, having to deal with the complexity in today's mixed environment?
It's a very good question. It's for a sports broadcaster, there's a number of pieces of the chain to glue together, from camera to screen, and the different vendors that operate in those different verticals, have to be ready to support the demands of their broadcast clients. For SIS Live, what it's meant really is different bandwidths across our network, different encoding technology to take on-site content and push that across the network. Capability across our satellite platforms, across our fibre platforms in terms of monitoring, control, the operators and the engineers that deliver those services, understanding the differences from 4K to HD and indeed standard definition in certain instances. So as I say, I think in terms of contribution, big leap forward. I think in terms of distribution, there's still a relatively small number of channels that are being delivered to the consumer in 4K straight to UHD, and I think that probably has some way to go. But in contribution, I've certainly seen a big leap forward in the last 6 to 12 months.
How are these dynamics reflected in what you've got here at IBC? I know the AnyLive products here. So what's that all about?
So we've been providing contribution services on fibre since around 2010. We've launched the AnyLive brand at this IBC at the same time that we've actually brought online our 100th venue. So we now have 100 venues, sports and entertainment venues on net, on the SIS Live network, contributing content for our broadcast customers on a daily basis. Large-scale sports events, Rugby World Cup, Premier League football, World Darts, the list goes on. And we're really keen to promote that and let rights holders and broadcasters and content owners hear about this AnyLive network. It is principally a fibre network. You can see on the map behind me the list of points of presence that are on there. They are a mix of venues, as I say, sports stadia, but also they are broadcast aggregation points, telehouses, tier 1 broadcasters, just making sure that end-to-end connectivity is available. We're also still using satellite. Satellite's not dead for our business. We have a long history and heritage in providing satellite solutions, and we really see AnyLive being part of a hybrid world for us. It's principally a fibre network, as I say, but around that fibre network, we still provide satellite services, and we still use our news gathering and satellite inventory to create a value add, either for redundancy or for maybe points of presence that are not best served by fibre. So that's what really we've been talking to our customers about at the show.
So is this all part of like the general move to IP that the industry seems to be making?
I think IP is it's an interesting question. At the end of the day, it's a transport protocol. I think my take on it is, it's not the panacea for all evils. Really, if transporting data, video, whatever content in IP brings efficiencies, brings flexibility, brings scalability, then of course it's something to embrace. The NLive network is fully IP enabled, but equally we provide the interfaces and tools for more conventional broadcast technologies to be transported. But the NLive network, as I say, is fully IP enabled, and it's really depending on the solution that we're looking to provide, how far into the value chain do we step, and what sort of equipment do we provide into that IP value chain.
What other challenges do you see going forward? I'm sure you've got a roadmap for the next year. What are the possible headwinds?
I think the roadmap for us is to continue to expand the NLive network. I'd love to be sitting here next year and telling you we have our 200th venue on net. Internationally, that's something that's clearly a topic. The venues that we have on net at the moment principally are UK based. We're talking to a number of partners across the globe to look at joining our network into others, and I think that's a next step or an interesting progression for us to bring some international points of presence onto NLive. I also think there's a number of service and product enhancements that we can bring onto the platform. Remote production is an interesting topic, and remote production for us. There's two sides really. There's the ability to provide increased flexibility and enhancements on site to existing OB providers, but there's also the capability to actually bring those feeds back to a central location. And I think there's an either or. It's not a one size fits all. What we're keen to do is to be that glue to either provide more functionality to the edge, or indeed, if people are looking at the centralised model, be able to bring more content back.
Just give people the flexibility.
The flexibility.
So you mentioned about crystal balls, but I'm going to ask you a crystal ball question to finish. If we're here this time next year, how different is the industry going to be?
I'd like to say that UHD will be a standard, the standard production format for certainly for sports. I'd like to see more UHD content being distributed, driving increased or looking for increased capability on both satellite and fibre distribution platforms versus contribution. I think IP will continue to become a standard across broadcast workflows. And I think IBC will continue to get bigger and more exciting year on year. The pace of change never ceases to amaze me. I think
it's the great industry we're in.
It is.
John, well, thank you very much.
No problem.
And thank you for watching.